Good morning. Hello. Hi. Oh, still people coming in, but we'll start. Hear the words up here? Pretty easy. I feel the Spirit of God shining through me, shining through me. I feel the Spirit of God shining through me, shining through me. Again. I feel the Spirit of God shining through me, shining through me. Ooh. I feel the Spirit of God shining through me, shining through me. Shine, shine, shining through me, through me. Shine, shine, shining through me, shining through me. How about the peace? I feel the peace of God shining through me, shining through me. Oh, it's Spirit of peace. I feel the Spirit of peace shining through me. I'm new here, shining through me. I feel the Spirit of peace shining through me, shining through me. I feel the Spirit of peace shining through me, shining through me. Shine, 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 shining through me, shining through me. Woo! Shine, shine, shining through me, shining through me. What should we do next? Maybe someone call out something. Give me a word. Oh, you want to do what's on there? We could be rebellious. All right, we'll do joy. I feel the Spirit of joy shining through me, shining through me. Very appropriate for today. I feel the Spirit of joy shining through me, shining through me. One more time, let's. I feel the Spirit of joy shining through me, shining through me. I feel the Spirit of joy shining through me, shining through me. Shine, shine, shining through me. Let it shine through you. Woo! Shine, shine, shining through me, shining through me. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Good morning, Unity of Sacramento. Let's hear it for our special guest musician, Miss Jessie Powers. How you doing, Unity of Sacramento? Are you alive? Are you alert? Are you awake? Are you enthusiastic about being here this morning? Yes, yes. If so, let's hear it for our live streamers this morning. Let's give them a round of applause. Your presence is felt. We know you're out there, and we acknowledge that presence and that power that is in you as well. We have a phenomenal vision here at Unity of Sacramento, and it's one that I'd like to share with the world. How about you? And if you would like to share it, then we happen to conveniently have it on the screen this morning. Let's say it together for the world. Together, centered in God, we co-create a world of peace, prosperity, and unconditional love for all. And because we are working with such a large vision, that means that we've got some work to do. We are mission-minded, are we not? And we have a beautiful mission statement that we'd like to share as well. It's on the screen. What does it say? we empower people to be a force for good in the world by awakening their divine nature. And so I ask again, are you awake? Are you alive? Are you alert? And are you ready to have the greatest celebration a Sunday morning could have? Then come on, get up on your feet and let's sing together. 1, 2, 3, 4. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. You may be seated. Unless your birthday falls in the month of July. Yes, that's right. We're celebrating our birth month babies today. Come on. If you're July, stand up. Stand up. There's a July month. Yes, there's another. Come on, let's celebrate them. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Woo! Wonderful, wonderful. Let's continue this celebration by doing what we do first and most here at Unity of Sacramento, and that is prayer. Let's take some time now to open the prayer field with the song, Our Thoughts, Our Prayers. Together. And now, right where you are, relax and know that there is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in our lives. It's God, it's good, it's omnipotence, it's omnipresent, it is omniscience, all-knowing. And that is to say that God knows what you have need of right now before you could ever ask. And so fear not, beloved, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom of health, the kingdom of wholeness, the kingdom of love, the kingdom of joy, the kingdom of purpose, the kingdom of substance, the kingdom of life, and all that is required for life and for living. And so if you are listening to us right now through the live stream, we ask that you place in the chat room your loved ones, those that are in need of prayer right now. It might be you. In fact, I suggest that you place your name as well as others in the chat room. for the prayer field is powerful. And for those of us who are here in our beautiful sanctuary, we ask that you hold in mind and in heart your loved ones, your friends, your family, your co-workers, your neighbors, all of those who are in need of prayer this morning. And as you place them in your mind, in your heart, in the chat room, know as you write each letter, as you type in those names, that love is not bound by miles nor distance. Love and God and prayer finds its way to where it's needed and provides the help of the Holy Spirit to change circumstances. And most importantly, to change consciousness. Let your consciousness be lifted this morning to know the truth that all is well and well indeed. That despite the appearances, in spite of the appearances, that God, there's a presence within us that is greater than any circumstance around us. That greater is He that is in you and me than he that is in the world. That love reigns supreme this morning, and healing is happening right now for all those of concern. Loved ones like Ida Overton, Dr. Danielle, Wanda Thornton and family. Loved ones like the Donaldsons and Southern family, the Ross family. And might I suggest you call forth the names of your loved ones right now. Use the power of your spoken word to move healing and wholeness into your loved ones' lives. Ah, yes, there it is. There it is. And don't be surprised if you get a good phone call this morning. Don't be surprised if you get a testimony coming your way this morning. Don't be surprised. Just be amazed at all that God can do, because God loves you, and so do we. We thank you, God. Thank you so much for all you are doing in Sacramento, all you are doing in America, all you are doing in the world. In the name, the nature, the consciousness, and the conviction of Christ Jesus, we know it's so. So it is, so we are. Amen. Let's continue in this vibration of wholeness and love and healing with a centering moment of meditation given to us this morning by the First Lady of Unity of Sacramento. Let's welcome Anita Ross.
Good morning, Unity of Sacramento. Such a pleasure to be with you this morning. Today's meditation is taken from Breathing Space, a 52-week meditation journey for centered, soulful, and successful living, written by our very own Rev Kev and Rev Eric. Today's word is pain. And today's affirmation can be found on the screen. I would love it if we could say it 3 times together. Together? I am wiser because I use the information pain brings me to adjust. Let's say that again. I am wiser because I use the information pain brings me to adjust. And one last time. I am wiser because I use the information pain brings me to adjust. Now let's just take a moment to take a deep breath in. Just exhale. Let's take another deep breath in and exhale. Relax in your seat. Allow yourself to become open and receptive, whatever that looks like for you. Whether that's to close your eyes, open your hands in a receptive position, facing upward, both feet on the ground, whatever it looks and feels like for you, just become open. And allow these words to speak to you. Despite the many ways it enters into our lives, the experience of pain in the Earth School is virtually inevitable. On its surface, pain is an unpleasant, disruptive experience that produces great discomfort, agony, and even sometimes suffering. If this is the only experience that one is having of pain, then she may never fully grasp its benefits. Pain can also be interpreted as information that is presented through the Earth School that notifies us of a significant adjustment that needs to be made. For instance, the pain one experiences as a result of someone's boot heel crushing their big toe. It's information. The person whose toe is being injured must make an immediate adjustment from beneath the boot heel in order to prevent further harm. And while the person who is the wearer of the boot is the offender, waiting for the boot wearer to free one's big toe is the equivalent to giving him a pain reliever and hoping your toe will feel better as a result. We heal ourselves by making the necessary adjustments with the information we're given, even by life's most painful experiences. In so doing, pain is a professor whose instruction carries the potential to make us wiser. As we prepare for the silence, bring to mind the pain that might be occurring in your life right now. Maybe it's coming in the form of an annoying tap, like a tap on the shoulder that won't stop, nudging you to change. Maybe it's a knock, like a loud, abrasive, rude, maybe even obnoxious knock, more loudly calling you for change. Perhaps you're in a crash moment where the tap didn't catch you or the knock didn't catch you, but the crash leaves you with no choice but to change. Whether it is the tap, the knock, or the crash, I want you to take this question into the silence. What adjustments are being called for by the painful experiences in your life? Take that in as we go into the silence. Rev Kev said, "The school of hard knocks is among life's most effective and yet unnecessary institutions. Process your pain. Move forward through that pain. Get to the other side of it and allow it to take you to your next level or your next light. For this and so much more we say, thank you, God. And so it is. Amen."
I'd like to invite everyone to just stay in that space of deep breathing, which is what I do when pain comes up. And just remember, when you went to sleep last night, you kind of disappeared. But when you woke up this morning, you were still breathing. How did that happen? Breath is such a gift. I don't want to give words to this. Anything you have to interpret will only eclipse the heart of it. I just want to send it in sound with a wavelength clarity. Ooh, nothing I could ever say will resonate the same way that this love does in me. Inhale, exhale, breathe. Somewhere in the beat of your heart, there I am. Somewhere underneath all the war-torn believing, and there you have always been. It's something like a melody, it's something like a song, and it sings itself and it's never wrong. Oh, everywhere it plays for me, it's always on repeat. It's the love song of everything. Inhale, exhale, breathe. It's not just there in my body. It's not just there in the thoughts that I think. It's there in the roots and the skies and the seas, in the eyelids, the irises, the wind and the wings, in the will be, the ever was, the reason and the just because. is your part. Inhale. Exhale.
Thank you, Jesse. Let's hear it again for Jesse Powers. And how about Chakra? Directed by Chet Schwalik. Thank you, Chet. Thank you, Chakra. And that beautiful meditation by Anita Ross. Thank you so much, Anita. Give her a round of applause. Wow. What an appropriate song for what we are speaking about this morning. We're speaking about meeting the mystics, and there's something very mystical about the breath and how it connects us to not only everything because everything breathes, everything has life, everything breathes, whether it's a vibration or a frequency, everything, rocks, birds, trees have life, and that breath is pulsating, it's pulsating and directing us and guiding us into the mystical, into a connection with the divine, and a connection into what's often known as the unknown, a connection into that which is everything and nothing at the same time. What a wonderful way to begin today's message. After this pause for station identification, I want to pause just a little bit to say hello to those who are out in our fireworks booth this morning. And I'm asking your participation in this. If you can just holler and scream and yell and applaud and say hello to those who are volunteering and have been volunteering. Yes. We just want you to know we see you and we thank you and we thank God for you, because this is one of our great fundraisers that we have here at Unity of Sacramento's International Spiritual Center. It's something that we love to do because it really gives us an opportunity to spend time with one another and to get to know each other from a deeper perspective and do some good in the meantime, in the interim. Sell a few fireworks, light a few sparklers. No, we're not lighting anything near the fireworks booth. But you get what I'm saying. We're lighting up conversations with each other that we don't often have the opportunity to do. We're only here at the church on Sundays for just a few hours, and there's only so much that we can learn and so much that we can know about each other during that time. But when we volunteer at the fireworks booth, something special happens. I mean, games start to be played. I think a few years ago, Reverend Charles struck up a game of dominoes. I hear that spades might break out somewhere soon. And certainly there's refreshments, and we really get to enjoy the summer season, which is striking up like a match here in Sacramento. There's certainly heat advisories, and I want to take a little bit more time to ask that everyone just be careful and be good with yourself, to hydrate, to to stay in cool spots and areas when and wherever you can, and to call on someone and just make certain that they are well also. Yes? All right. Thank you for that, and thank you for saying hi to those that are out in our fireworks booth here. If you are live streaming and you're nearby, we invite you to come on through anytime today. I think we're going to be at the fireworks booth until 9 p.m. this evening, and then of course tomorrow and on the 4th of July. And so, you know, I got to tell this story. Someone's just passing by saw us having a great time at the fireworks booth, and she went on with her day, but something just kept telling her, just some kind of impulse just kept touching her heart, and she was compelled by love. She was compelled to buy some ice and some water, and so she did that while she was shopping, and she came back and shared with us, and it was such a beautiful, beautiful gesture. And so I'm not suggesting that everyone that is listening right now go out and buy some ice and some water. Just come by and say hello. You might be compelled to buy a few fireworks along the way, but most important, let's make friends during this time. Let's say hello to one another. Let's find out more about each other during this time. Yes? All right, that's my promotion for today's fireworks fundraiser, and I hope that you are enjoying watching it unfold as I am. I want to continue this series that we started last week entitled Meet the Mystics. Meet the Mystics. Have you enjoyed it thus far, for those of you who were here last week? Isn't this a great subject, a great topic? And it is so in our wheelhouse, isn't it? I mean, for those of you who aren't familiar with Unity was started with healing and prayer, but then we delve into the mystical once it was Charles Fillmore who saw what happened to his wife. I mean, he was right there. He witnessed the healing through prayer. And then he said, well, how did this happen? What happened here? And he was compelled to get into the mystical, to go into the mystical, to go into the silence, to go into prayer, to go into meditation and find out what was there. And what he found is still going on right now, is still moving today because we're here. We are Unity. We are those who are of the legacy of Charles and Myrtle Fillmore because they followed Spirit when Charles and Myrtle went into the Spirit, went into the mystical, and was guided and instructed and directed as to what to do, how to move. Revelations, inspirations came out of all of that. And here we are today. And so I'm so proud to have the opportunity to talk with you about mysticism and to introduce to you some powerful mystics that you may or may not be familiar with. And so this is a lesson series that is showing us how to take a deeper dive in our spiritual journey through establishing a mystical connection with Spirit. And of course, as you just heard, one of those ways that we can create that connection, we can make that connection, is simply by breathing. Why do I say that? Because the scriptures tells us that God is closer than a brother. God is closer than breath itself. God is that breath itself. And when we breathe, something much deeper, much more profound is going on than what it seems to be. It's more than just a simple inhale and an exhale. It is a connection that is being made with all of life, with each waking moment, with each breath that we take. Every breath you take, every move you make, every smile that breaks. I don't know all the words, but God's watching us. Okay. And so what we're really talking about here is access into omniscience. Access to omniscience. Say it with me. Access to omniscience. And access to omniscience brings forth illumination. And when we say in our mission that we empower people to be a force for good by awakening their divine nature, this is one of the ways that we do it. Yes? It's an understanding of mysticism is one of the tools that we use to empower people into their best and highest lives, into their best and highest selves. So when we talk about mysticism, we are talking about a spiritual discipline whose aim is unification with the divine through a deep meditation or trance-like contemplation. Now, it's important to make this distinction because of the many ways that people perceive mysticism. There are people out there that they hear mysticism, they hear that word, and they think about everything that's deep and dark and, unknown and uncertain and all of those things. But the things that are unknown become known when you delve into the mystical. Yeah, we call it a mystery because there's so much there that you couldn't possibly know it all. But when you delve into it, you tap into it, it tells you all you need to know. Did you hear that? There's so much. We're talking about the infinite here. There's so much that you can't possibly know it all, but when you tap into it, it tells you all you need to know. It's a spiritual discipline that brings forth a deeper unification with the divine. It's important to make this distinction because people consider all sorts of people as mystics. It's really a broad topic, yes? Mystics range from Jesus to Buddha to Gandhi to Edgar Cayce to Meister Eckhart and even Houdini. Yes, even Houdini is often considered a mystic. And I guess escaping the seemingly inescapable can be seen as mystical. But this isn't some parlor trick. Mysticism, as the American Heritage Dictionary defines it, is a knowing of the existence of realities beyond perceptual and intellectual apprehension. Let me say that again. It is a knowingness of the existence of realities beyond perceptual or intellectual apprehensions. It is central to being. It is central to being. And it is directly accessible to the intuitive faculties. The intuitive faculties. Meaning this does not have to be mediated or mitigated by some third party. You can DIY this. You can do this. Our goal in this series is to not just introduce you to historical mystics like Charles Fillmore or Harriet Tubman or Howard Thurman or Khalil Gibran. Our goal is to introduce you to you. Did you hear what I said? That's my goal. That's our goal. It's to wake something up in you that you didn't realize was there. Or you realize that you just didn't tap into it or never tapped into it or didn't know how to tap into it. We're introducing you to you, your true selves, your higher calling, your higher purpose for being. Repeat after me. I am a modern day mystic. I am a modern day mystic. Look at someone and tell them, I'm a modern day mystic. Which brings me to this point. Mysticism, as I am presenting it to you, seeks to change the world, not retreat from it. Did you hear that? Oftentimes people see mysticism and the process of going within, of turning within, as something that is used to get away from the issues of life. Representing mysticism today as something that you use to overcome, to transcend, to change the issues of life into something greater and something better, something good. This is not escapism, although it can be used to set oneself and others free. You shall know the truth, and the truth can set you free. Like how it was used with Harriet Tubman. Now, many of you know Harriet Tubman, yes? You've heard the stories. You've read the books. And I suggest that you keep reading the books and keep making those books available to others so that they can read those books and know something about themselves in the process. Harriet Tubman. We know that Harriet Tubman helped to free many, many slaves through the Underground Railroad. We know that Harriet Tubman was a spy in the Civil War for the Union. We know that Harriet Tubman led men into battle and freed hundreds of people from plantations during the war. We know that Harriet Tubman was an advocate for women and womanhood, an advocate for senior citizens, and cared for them. But this is something that you may not have known about Harriet Tubman. She is a mystic. Did you know that? She is a mystic. Her belief was that there was no separation between physical and spiritual worlds. And it was a direct result of her African and Christian practices. Harriet literally believed that she moved between a physical existence and a spiritual experience. Let me say that again. A physical existence and a spiritual experience. And even sometimes it allowed her to fly over the landscape in the process of escaping slavery, in the process of helping others be free. But how she came to be a mystic is as interesting as her being a mystic and all of the things that she was able to do to socially change the conditions of this country. Very few people know that when she was a young girl, someone threw a weight, a heavy weight, and missed the intentional target, but the weight struck Harriet Tubman in the head and gave her a horrific injury. She was in a coma, she was unconscious, but she survived it. And when she survived it, nothing was ever the same again. She would get headaches and migraines. She would have to close her eyes and lay down. And when she was seeking the relief from pain, visions would come. And she would hear things and see things. and she acted on what she heard and what she saw. During one of the escapes on the Underground Railroad, one of the passengers of the railroad watched Harriet moving down a particular road, stopping, looking around as if she was hearing something in real time, and she was. And at that moment, she signaled everybody behind her, and she moved off the road, not knowing that down the way were people who were prepared to apprehend them. And he spoke of this and said, no doubt about it, Harriet Tubman is charmed. She used her mystical power in order to help lead her and guide her and others to freedom. It reminds me of a book from years ago. You might be familiar with this book. It's a favorite book of the Unity movement and New Thoughters everywhere, called The Celestine Prophecy. Do you recall that book by James Redfield? That was an interesting book, and when it was published, it really caused a stir, because we could relate to what it was trying to convey, that there were powers that we can't see, that is in our highest interest and good. And one of the scenes that I remember from the book is where they were traveling, they were being chased. The theys were the protagonists, the antagonists, and what have you, the characters of the book. And in this one scene, they got to a fork in the road. You might recall this. And they were like, which way do we go? Which way do we go? Which way is best for our highest good? And then there was this highlighting that took place on one side of the road. It's as if everything on that side of the road was lighting up, as if to say, this is the way to go, this is the way to take. And they took it, and they were free. Something mystical was being conveyed in that book. And there's something mystical in the universe, something mystical that is taking place not just with human beings, but with all of life, and allows all of life to interact with each other and be on the same page with one another. If you are on the same page, if you are connected, if you have practiced, if you can see the signals, if you know the signs and wonders, if you can connect, it's ever available. Now, here's what I'm not saying, going back to Harriet Tubman's horrific incident. You do not have to be hit in the head in order to be a mystic. No oops upside the head here. That's not what we're saying. Don't go out of here saying, Rev Eric says that I need to get hit in the head and that way I can become mystical. And don't go slamming your head up against the wall. No, don't do that. Please don't. All I'm saying is, just note that here's what took place from a metaphysical level. When the incident occurred, her conscious mind was affected. And as a result, the conscious mind diminished and the subconscious mind increased. The Christ mind increased. And now she had access. Well, you don't have to be hit in the head for that to happen. Maybe I'm hitting you in the head right now. But all you have to do is meditate. This is what's meant by the trance-like centering that takes place when people go into a mystical experience. It just simply means quieting down the conscious mind so that the Christ mind and the subconscious mind can come together and lead you and guide you and bring you into illumination and omniscience. This is exactly what Charles Fillmore did. Remember last week we talked about Charles Fillmore and what he did with spiritual discipline? He sat down at a particular time every day, a same seat, and he began to he was able to give himself unto the Spirit, to be open and receptive to what Spirit was leading and seeking to guide through him. And for a while, nothing happened. And then all of a sudden, pow, vivid dreams, hearing things, seeing things, being divinely guided and directed. This has happened to you. You may not realize that it was a mystical experience, and I'm pretty sure you wouldn't call it one, but maybe when you were in the shower this morning, you were just minding your own business, you were quiet, you didn't have anything on your mind other than to wash and be clean, and all of a sudden, stuff starts streaming, ideas start coming, and then you go, oh, my day is unfolding here, and I know exactly what I need to do. Never would have come there if I didn't shower. Has that ever happened to anyone? Some of you going, Some of you are saying, how did he know I showered this morning? I'm mystical. I certainly hope you did something. So it was a guess. It was a guess. Some of you have a quote-unquote mystical experience when you go to the bathroom. You step into the bathroom, you sit on the toilet, and then all of a sudden, ideas come out of nowhere. Why? Because there's nothing else to do there. The conscious mind just shuts down. Now, I'm not saying that those are tools that you should use in order to experience your mystical experience. You don't have to do it that way. Please, listen, far be it of me to judge your spiritual practices. But if the bathroom is the only place you go to get clarity, insight, and illumination, may I suggest that there is more that you can explore. There's more to it than just that. But those are just examples of how we have a glimpse of truth, but we don't explore it more. We just say, oh, that's just a coincidence, a coinky-dinky. That was something that was in my mind, and I just completely forgot about it, and then it came to light when I got quiet. And well, what else might come to life if you sit still and become quiet? What else might be out there that can bring you into your best and highest self? Give you what you need so that you are in front of a thing rather than chasing a thing or behind a thing or completely miss a thing. This is what I'm encouraging you to do. I'm encouraging you to explore, to put on your metaphysical hat and prove it for yourself, rather than seeking to have someone mitigate it and mediate it for you. You already have it in you. You already said you are a modern day mystic. You already know that there is something in you that is seeking its fullest expression through you. We say it all the time. You go that, you believe that. Why? How do I know? Because I've seen you nod every Sunday. But now I'm really encouraging you, I'm lovingly encouraging you to take it higher, to really be intentional about your mystical, intuitive power. It's in you. One of the ways that I know this is because of the life of Reverend Dr. Howard Thurman. And some of you may not be familiar with Howard Thurman, and some of you are familiar with Howard Thurman, but you don't realize the impact that he has had on all of our lives. And so I want to take a little bit of time, a few minutes, to show you something that I saw on YouTube. It's a beautiful trailer for a documentary on Howard Thurman that's on PBS stations and the like. And hopefully you can find, as a matter of fact, I know you can find the full version of this documentary on YouTube. And I think it would be a wonderful homework assignment for you to take some time to see who this man is and be inspired by his work. Let's roll the tape and see who this mystic really is. Howard Thurman.
He was born the grandson of slaves, yet Howard Thurman would become one of the most celebrated religious figures of the 20th century. A spiritual mentor to Martin Luther King Jr.
Whether we want it that way or not, we all tied together.
And a moral anchor for the civil rights movement.
Martin Luther King Jr. would quote Howard Thurman on many, many occasions.
I think Howard Thurman, for many leaders in that movement, King included, played the role of pastor.
In the 1930s, after an historic meeting with Mahatma Gandhi, Thurman becomes one of the early voices for nonviolent resistance, for a people who over centuries experienced unimaginable violence.
He helped to establish the philosophical framework of how to struggle.
He saw himself as a spiritual activist because he was fundamentally a teacher.
He had this combination of being kind and being strong, and I think that's a very rare combination.
While Sunday morning was often considered the most segregated hour in the week, Thurman helped pioneer a church where people of different races and religions could worship together.
He's suspicious of denomination and dogma and creed. He would never identify himself as a theologian because he thought theologians boxed God.
And he was called a mystic because he believed religious experience was best explored within.
Howard Thurman was actually practicing contemplative spirituality before we actually started calling it contemplative spirituality.
At his heart, he was a nature mystic.
Thurman is talking to trees. Trees.
Yet this mystic was also an outspoken critic of Christianity for its part in the nation's deep racial divides, and he countered with a shocking that offered a new way of understanding the life of Jesus Christ and how it speaks directly to the oppressed and disinherited.
I care the disinherited every day.
And he gives an Africanity to the interpretation of Jesus.
He provided a spiritual perspective that was empowering.
There were people encountering Thurman's work and being shaken at their core.
I would have to find out what was the word that the religion of Jesus had to say to the man with his back against the wall.
Extra funding for this program was provided by Lilly Endowment.
You will find true success and happiness if you have only one goal. There really is only one, and that is this: to fulfill the highest, most truthful expression of yourself. Theologian Howard Thurman said it best. He said, "Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and then go do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive."
Wonderful. I know we had some technical difficulties, but let me fill in the blanks for you, because I don't want you to miss this. This man is absolutely extraordinary. And what was on the screens there were one person, one civil rights activist after another, saying that this is the one who is behind it all. This is the one that has helped us to keep our center when we are going through severity, when we're going through chaos, when we're going through struggle. This is the one that was far ahead of everybody that was in the movement. This man was so powerful that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King himself would keep the book Jesus and the Disinherited in his briefcase and always pull it out in order to help center himself and to keep himself, his eye on the prize, as it were, to keep himself focused, to keep himself at his spiritual best and his spiritual center. This is the man who went to see Gandhi, and people thought that, oh, that was the spiritual experience that then he brought back, and then all of a sudden the movement took another level. But here's what I want you to know. Howard Thurman was already there. He was already in his mystical magnificence. And so what we were seeing when he went to see Gandhi was the meeting of two magnificent mystical minds that were operating and seeing the world in a way that it wasn't way back then. This man, at the very beginning, at his birth, his mother and his grandmother saw something in him and said, "Oh, he's a seer. He is special." And he had to live with that all of his life. Sometimes that can be a blessing, and sometimes that could be a curse, because people don't understand you. People don't know what it is they don't understand what it is that you're seeing, and sometimes it's seen as abnormal. You saw the man up there say that this man was talking to trees. Trees. Did you hear that part? Now what we know, yes, she heard it. You should hear it too. And now we know that there is a link, there is a oneness with all things, with all life. And he knew it at an early age. When he was at Morehouse, they thought he was weird because he moved differently. But what his movement was telling us, what his movement was bringing to us, was a new way of seeing ourselves as one, seeing ourselves as inseparable, although we are individualized creations, individualized expressions of God. We're still one in God. And oftentimes we miss that. Well, through his mystical insight, he brought that out even more. This to me, you heard one of his wonderful quotes from Oprah Winfrey, which said that don't ask what the world needs, ask what is it that brings me to life, and then do that, because that's what the world really needs, people who have come to life. That's a mystical statement, but it's not my favorite. Here's my favorite. Howard Thurman said, "There is something in every one of you that waits and listens for the sound of the genuine in yourself. It is the only true guide you will ever have. And if you cannot hear it, you will all of your life spend your days on the ends of strings that somebody else pulls." Deep. Indeed, a powerful statement, and it speaks to his understanding of our autonomy in God, that we can do everything that Jesus said we could, that Jesus is not the exception, but the example. Jesus the mystic was simply trying to show us our higher selves and bring us into it through what we call the Christ. And in so doing, when we all reach the Christ, and those who do reach the Christ, or maybe even a smidgen of it, a glimpse of it, we come to discover that that's one less string that pulls us, that tugs us, or tugs at us. It's one less end of the string that has me be a puppet to circumstances. One less string that is cut that would have me feel as though I'm something other than my best and highest self. This man was very clear. He said, all dogma, all theology, however wonderful they may be, are always a little out of date because they are rationalizations. And he's using that word in the best sense of the word. They are rationalizations of religious experience, not the dynamic, fluid experience of the divine. What he come to know, because he practiced it, is that the mystic experience does not have to be fleeting. Did you hear me? When we have a dream, we wake up and all of a sudden it's gone like that. We couldn't hold on to it. It isn't because it's a mystery and therefore I'm not open to it. It's because we haven't practiced. It's because we haven't gotten into an intentional spiritual discipline with that. Otherwise, when we do, guess what? We wake up still vivid, still in our minds, still connected to that truth, to that dream. Are you hearing me this morning? This is what's available for us. And that's the level of consciousness that we seek to obtain. Because when we obtain that consciousness, guess what? We'll reach our vision. We'll reach our vision of a world that works for all. We'll reach our vision of a world of peace, prosperity, and unconditional love. And let me tell you why. Because in that realization that comes in those mystical experiences, there's a oneness that is attained. And you come into the realization that in that oneness, that all of life, that there wouldn't be life unless there was a way to sustain that life. And therefore, everything that has life is one in that life, and anything that is separate or segregated will come into death. We're talking about understanding our unity, our oneness with God, rather than some kind of dualistic relative reality that we make up because we're not connected with that oneness in consciousness. Everybody breathe. Oh, it's going to be a good coffee clutch today. Howard Thurman was so profound that he was able to discern and delineate different types of mysticisms, categories in which people operate in their mystic greatness. And he discovered that his mystical greatness occurs in something that he called the mysticism of the light within. It's something that is very close to what Meister Eckhart, the great theologian from years and years and years, centuries ago, would say. This theologian, Meister Eckhart, would say that God eternally begets the only begotten. Let me say that again. God eternally begets the only begotten. What is he saying? He's saying that Jesus wasn't the only one that had the Christ within him. It's the Christ that God begot. And because God begot the Christ, and because God is eternal, that means that the Christ is eternal, and that Christ is in you, and that Christ is in me, and therefore God eternally begets the only begotten. Every time another baby is born, there's another Christ-like that is among us, filled with potential to do good things on the earth, filled with a purpose that is unfolding before our eyes. This is a mystical experience, to be sure. And Thurman heard that and discovered what he called the mysticism of the light within, that there's a light within us all that connects us all. And he utilized this understanding to not only be a founder of a church just a few hours away from here, that back in that day, in the early 1900s, was as diverse as this congregation. In that day. So we're not the first ones, I'm sorry to tell you. But Howard Thurman saw it, and he showed that it could happen. And we are in that tradition as well. A tradition where we can open up our doors to all of humanity, and they feel at home and at peace. I'm going to close with this. And there's so much more to say, but we'll share it. We'll share some of that and some of your thoughts during the coffee clutch. I'm going to end with this quote by Howard Thurman, something he wrote in 1944. He said, "If the cosmos is the kind of order that sustains and supports life and its potentials, then it sustains and supports the demands that the relationships between men and between man and God be one of harmony, integration, wholeness, all that we mean by love. If life is alive, then life is indivisible. Segregation and artificial separation between people and peoples equals death." And this was Howard Thurman's deepest mystical vision, one that anchored a movement. What's your vision going to be? What is God going to give you that will enlighten the world? How are you going to interact with all of life and all that lives? I'm not saying you have to go and hug a tree, but there may be something there that is speaking to you and have always spoken to you, that if you were to just respond and not be afraid, but to know that it's just another form of life that is seeking to capture your attention. Who knows? You may be the catalyst for something that can help us get to higher ground. Help us obtain peace and joy. Help us live in harmony, one with the other. Help us understand and respect each other. You may be the one. You may be the one. I believe I'm looking at the one. And I'm just here to help. Let your light shine for all the world to see. In the name, the nature, the consciousness, and the conviction of Christ Jesus. So it is, so we are. Amen.
A little unsure if it was my turn, but it's my turn. Wow, that was amazing. Do you guys feel so pumped up after that? Vibes are so high, I know, so yeah. So we're gonna keep the vibes going. I invite you to dance. I invite you to do, whatever kind of movement makes you feel good. This is a song called Joy. You have permission to feel as much joy as you want with absolutely no reason whatsoever in the world, although we do have many reasons. So here we go. I don't need a reason, I don't need a why to make my day go right. Flowing with the seasons, falling winter freezing, spring and summer sunlight. It doesn't matter what is going on outside. In here I'm the master, I decide. So today I'm feeling J-O-Y. Why? Because I want to. Feeling J-O-Y. Why? Because I want to. I don't need another reason to feel good about my life. Feeling J-O-Y. Why? Because I want to. Because I want to. Because I want to. You call it a roadblock, I call it a sock hop. Watch me rock my way around. Just because it's big doesn't mean it's bad. Misunderstood wolf wouldn't swallow me down. Don't wanna be a queen, afraid of her own crown. My reign begins right now. So today I'm feeling J-O-Y. Why? Because I want to. Feeling J-O-Y. Why? Say it. Because I want to. I don't need another reason to feel good about my life. Feeling J-O-Y. Why? Because I want to. You say it. Because I want to. Yeah, say it loud. Oh, because I want to. Dance break. I feel joy when I'm happy. I feel joy when I'm sad. I feel joy in the apathy. I feel joy when I watch myself get mad. I feel joy when I'm happy. So if you're feeling empty, fill it up. Cause there's joy to be had. Cause there's joy to be had. Cause there's joy to be had. Dance break number 2. Let's do it. I'm seeing some joy out here. I feel like there could be more. J-O-Y, why? Because I want to. Feeling J-O-Y, why? Because I want to. I don't need another reason to feel good about my life. Feeling J-O-Y, why? Because I want to. That's right. Because I want to. Hey, because I want to. I feel joy when I'm happy. I feel joy when I'm sad. I feel joy in the apathy. I feel joy when I watch myself get mad. I feel joy when I'm happy. I feel joy when I'm sad. So if you're feeling empty, fill it up. Cause there's joy to be had. Cause there's joy to be had. Cause there's joy to be had. Woo! Thank you.
Let's give her some joy. Come on now. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Chakra. Thank you, Chet. Let's hear it for them, everybody. Oh, don't miss church. Oh, don't miss church. Come on, say it with me. Don't miss church. Yes, yes. The time has now come for the blessing of our tithes and our offerings. This is what allows us to do wonderful things in the world and go beyond beyond our campus, beyond our community here in Sacramento and all across the world. We're doing some wonderful things in the world, and we're touching people one at a time. We would like your support. We would like your financial support, and we're asking for it, and we thank you for your generosity in advance. There are many ways that you can give to this ministry, and we want to show you a few of them right now.
Visit our website at www.unityofsacramento.com. Right there at the top of the front page, you will see a donation button. Click there to visit our safe and secure PushPay portal. Another easy way to give is through our Unity of Sacramento app. Download the app on your smartphone or tablet, and on the front page, look toward the bottom of the page for your giving heart, which will also take you to our PushPay portal. You can also write us. Send your letters to Unity of Sacramento, 9249 Folsom Boulevard, Sacramento, California, 95826. And of course, you can always make your donation by using Venmo or Cash App, as seen on your screen.
And if you're here in our beautiful sanctuary, you will find envelopes right in front of you in the backs of the seats before you. Please fill those out completely, as it gives us the information that we need to make certain that you can get a tax statement at the end of the year. All right. And now, however you have decided to give, however you are inspired to give, let us bless that gift and bless you in the process. We do this by closing our eyes, lifting our hands, and repeating after me: divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Thank you, God. Amen. Ushers, you may come forward. If this is your first time here at Unity of Sacramento, or your first time in a long time here at Unity of Sacramento, I just want to say on behalf of our congregation, our Board of Trustees, on behalf of Rev Kev, hi. And welcome. We're so happy that you're here, and we hope that you had a wonderful and marvelous experience. We hope that you heard something that feeds you spiritually, and certainly if you have any questions, that's quite all right. You are welcome to have questions here. We have a lot of veterans in the audience right now. You can just pick any of them, and they will, in love, answer any questions that you may have to the best of their ability. And of course, I'm here too, so feel free to come and say hello to me during the fellowship line. Again, thank you for coming. And if by chance you're interested in making this your spiritual home, we'd like to have that conversation with you as well. Consider being a member here at Unity of Sacramento. And I'm here to tell you what that's all about. All right? Thanks again. Let's give a round of applause for those who are here for the first time or in a long time. And now let's listen carefully to some very important announcements. We have some very good things coming up in the weeks to come. Let's welcome our operations manager, Deborah Garcia.
morning, or already afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. So, wow, we have so many cool things going on. First of all, though, I want to thank everyone who attended the town hall last Sunday after service. We had a really good turnout. And it lets us know that you're out there helping with the lift in many different ways and want the best for our beloved community, our spiritual home, and that you have love enough to come see what's behind the pretty parts and answer the call of what is mine to do. Your contributions in all their many ways are wholeheartedly heard and appreciated, so thank you. And as you know, in order to be compliant with our bylaws, we need to keep track of who our current members are. So many of you have taken the survey that we sent out, wonderful contributions, very helpful. And it's had such a fabulous response that we're going to keep it open. So if you haven't had a chance, please fill it out online or let us know if you need a printed version. The answers have been outstanding and just really, really helpful. And I'll have all those links for the live streamers shortly. And you can find those forms with a link on it just around Friendship Hall and in the lobby. And also because we know we have a lot going on and we've been having discussions about our ministry and this building, we have a new slip, if I can find it here, a new slip called I Have a Question. And you can fill it out at any time. You can find them on the information table in the lobby. You can find them in Friendship Hall. You can fill them out, hand them to one of our volunteers or the staff. You can leave them in the donation basket, in the God box. So we like hearing from you. So please feel free to fill one of those out if you have any questions. Let's see, what else we got going on? Gosh, how about Jesse Powers? Right? Our fabulous musical guest today. Are you enjoying this? So our musical director, Chet Schwalik, is having a house concert at his home tonight at 8 p.m., and that's 8 p.m. sharp. And Jesse is a guest musician. And so make it a whole musical day and evening. I've got some details that you can find in Friendship Hall and also in the lobby. And also Jesse will be in Friendship Hall directly after service to talk to and also to sign up for the concert. We need a minimum of 15 people. And so she'll be there with the sign-up sheet. It is $20 at the door. So again, make sure you sign up so that they know you're coming. And this is at the Tuning Note Music Studio, which is in Chet's home. And you can Google that, the Tuning Note Music Studio. And I'll give you the address. And Jesse also has all of this information. 2825 King Edward Drive in El Dorado Hills. So that's at 8 o'clock tonight when it'll be a little bit cooler. And the next Young Person Sunday is coming up. It's this month. It's every 5th Sunday when we have 5 Sundays. So July 30th. Are you a young person, 21 or under, or you have someone in your family who would like to participate in services that day? You can sing, dance, read announcements, or maybe you'd like to learn how the service program is run. You can be a greeter or an usher. You can help out in hospitality, or you can follow me around and open the church and prepare the day for the Sunday service. You'll get your steps in. Perhaps you'd like to operate a camera or help with slides. If you're interested, please let someone from the staff or volunteer teams know. There's also a sign-up sheet in the lobby. Sign up as soon as possible, though, because rehearsals are June 23rd after service and Wednesday the 26th at 7 p.m. So July, what'd I say? Oh, yeah, I'm still in June. July, so sorry about that. July 23rd, and then Wednesday, July the 26th. Is it hot enough for you? I want to shout out our dedicated and weather-resistant volunteers who have been showing up every day, sometimes for multiple shifts, to make sure we have friendly faces to keep our fireworks booth open. I see many of you are actually in service today, and we have quite a few that are out there right now. So hopefully they're listening out there today and can hear how much we love and appreciate them. You talk about dedication, so let's give them a big hand. Thank you. And before you leave today, be sure to stop by to say hello and find some fun, safe, and sane fireworks for your holiday. This is one of our biggest fundraisers each year, so don't be shy about stocking up on your fireworks. And if fireworks just aren't your cup of tea, maybe you'd consider donating. Every year, we get a little bag of goodies going, and where we see a need, we add a little extra something to a family's bag. So consider this and stop by the booth on your way out today. So we are having a lot of fun fundraising right now. Please check the information table in the lobby for information on our shoe drive, the Shoe Us the Love shoe drive. We've had a good response, but let's have a great response. Tell your friends and family about our shoe drive and see if we can get to 100 bags. This is probably the easiest fundraiser ever. Well, we are anxiously awaiting the return of our beloved and accomplished Rev Kev. So please be sure to join us for his Harvard homecoming service and celebration with the whole Ross family and our beloved community. July 16th, beginning at 10:30 a.m. is when the festivities start. Mark your calendars. We have a fun day being prepared for us all. We have a basket in the lobby for cards and notes, and we have a link you can go to in order to record a short greeting and congratulations. We also have a sign-up sheet in the lobby to bring potluck items for our cookout celebration following the service. Ethel Boyd is arranging the details, and our board trustee vice president, Vernon Boyd, is going to be our grill master. So when you're signing up for items to bring, please also remember our vegan and pescatarian friends, and we do have what we need on that sheet, so it'll be really easy. We could use a few people to help with cleanup afterwards, and please let me know if you can be available for that part or just put cleanup on the sign-up sheet, that's fine. And also, if you would rather make a cash contribution for the supplies, it's on the PushPay app, and you just designate potluck, and that information is also in the lobby and in Friendship Hall. Let's see. Oh, and it's also Unity T-shirt Sunday that day. So we want to really show our Unity pride. So if you have a favorite Unity T-shirt, please wear it that day. We're celebrating Rev Kev's achievement, and we're also celebrating us. And we have a special guest, Rev Shad Groverland, president of Unity Worldwide Ministries, is also joining us that day. So let's show our pride. Let's welcome him to our home, and we'll show off a little bit too. And if you haven't had a chance to get one of the new shirts, they are still online at Namaste Merch. And again, more information in the lobby. So we encourage you today to stop by Savvy House Coffee Bar and grab a delicious gourmet beverage and a snack. And make sure you head over to the Coffee Clutch today. It's going to be a good one. And Jessie Powers will be in there with her information and flyers. And yeah, we've got sign-up sheets in the lobby I would like you to please check out on your way out. And that is it. And Jessie Powers has a little bit of information for you next. Thank you.
Okay, walk-up music. Oh, thank you, Deborah. So I also, besides just doing this, which I love, by the way, you guys have an amazing band. Yes, you're so lucky. These guys are awesome. Shameless plug for me, just to make sure, there is a merch table out there. So I have CDs and vinyls and T-shirts and all kinds of fun stuff. But what I really wanted to mention was that I am also a leader on a leadership team for a young adults group that is a New Thought young adults group. And we are having a retreat in October in Oregon. And so if you know a young adult who is into this philosophy, or maybe who you think maybe they would be into it, come to my merch table, come and talk to me. I'm one of the leaders on the team, and we're looking for more young people. So that's young people defined as the ages 18 to 40-ish. So if you know someone, if you are someone, yes. Many of the people on the leadership team are in their early 40s, so we don't discriminate, except if you're older than that. No, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessie. I make the cut. I'll be at the table. Just don't ask for ID. All right. And just want to reiterate July 16th. It is a big, big day. It is the day that Rev Kev will officially be back in the pulpit here at Unity of Sacramento. We want to fill this sanctuary out. Please get the word out and help people to get here. Look, do this. Do this. Pretend it's Easter. Pretend it's a concert here at Unity of Sacramento. All right? And actually, we really don't have to pretend. I know that you love Rev Kev and you want to welcome him back. But also, and I don't want this to be missed, the president of Unity Worldwide Ministries, worldwide, Shad Groverland, will be with us on that day. And that tells you something. We are up to big things. And I don't want you to miss any special announcements or anything that might happen on that day. I'm just saying, I don't know, but you just never know. All right? So please be a part and make certain to be here on July 16th. I'm looking forward to having more conversations on the mystical experience and meeting the mystics that are here at Unity of Sacramento. So be sure to get your cup of coffee or whatever it is, the beverage of your preference, and join me in the corner of Friendship Hall after the service. Let's stand and sing our benediction song, We All Belong. Together, we all belong, we all belong, we all belong to the family of God. We all belong, we all belong, we all belong to this infinite love. And together we'll walk hand in hand, side by side. We take a stand. We will stand up for love all over the world, 'cause we all belong. We all belong. We all belong to the family of God. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And together we'll walk, hearts and hands, everywhere we go. We'll take a stand. We'll stand up for love all over the world, 'cause we all belong. We all belong. We all belong to the family of God. Look in the mirror and meet your mystic. And so it is.